Morning everyone and welcome to today's bright and early broadcast where we are continuing to work, I'm continuing to work, you might be as well, continuing to work through every question in my upcoming book, just to give it one last check before it is printed. So thank you very much for joining me. In this video we will just be looking at lots of maths questions and we are starting today at topic 41. For those of you that are unaware, the Crack Maths has broken down. Has broken down the functional skills curriculum for level 2 into 70 manageable lessons, where I've got all these worksheets on them here. So the topics are labelled 1 to 70. This here is topic 41, which is rates of pay. I am just going to be whizzing through these questions today, but if at any point in time you want a more detailed explanation, if you look at these QR codes here that appear in the top corners, you can either scan those or you can go over to, one second, here we go, you can go over to crackmaths.co.uk, and here in the resources section you will be able to find under tutorials, and then if you keep scrolling you'll find the numbered system here. So 41 will be down here, how to work with rates of pay, and you can click there and you'll find your video and the worksheet for the book that we're actually doing right now. So anyway, that's me just waffling about that. So let's get on and get started with these questions. Okay, so question 1, it says, if Sarah earned £200 in 10 hours, what was her hourly rate? So if that means that 10 hours is £200, her hourly rate is what she earns in 1 hour. So we divide this by 10, so that would be £20, and so I'll go £20 per hour. There we go. That's what that dash means, per. I hope. Emily worked for 6 hours and earned £90. What was her hourly rate? Okay, so 6 hours gets her £90. So if we want 1 hour, we'll have to divide this by 6. Okay. 90 divided by 6 is 15, but you can also do it on the calculator. 90 divided by 6 is 15. There we go. So Emily gets £15 per hour. Right. If John earns the same as Emily here. If John's hourly rate is £15 and he worked for 8 hours, how much did he earn in total? So for John, we've got 1 hour equals £15, and then we'll have 8 hours is 8 lots of that, so he gets this 8 times. So we just, we've got the 15 already, so we'll just times this by 8, and that will be £120. Okay, so he got £120, and let me just write that over here in the big area. Right, Lisa earned £120 for working 12 hours. What was her hourly rate? So 12 hours equals £120. So we want 1 hour. So to get from 12 to 1, we've divided by 12. So we divide this by 12 as well. I know 120 divided by 12 is 10. Okay, so Lisa is earning £10 per hour. Okay, and lastly, we've got Mike here. And it says, if Mike worked for 40 hours and earned £600, oh dear, he's not earning a very good salary at all. What was his hourly rate? So 40, oh maybe he is. Oh yeah, he is. 40 hours equals £600. So 1 hour equals, let's find out. 600 divided by 40. Okay. And that, 15, like the others really, £15 per hour. Okay, right, let's go over and get these marked. Okay, so, one sec, I don't want to go there. I need to just nip over to my answers. Here we go. Get this, and then shrink this to the side. Oh, sorry, I just minimise that now. Right, so here we go. 41 practice. Here we go. So £20 per hour, £15 per hour, £120 per hour, £10 per hour, and £15 per hour. Perfect, great, nothing to do there. Okay, so let's keep going. This one here says, David earned £80 for working 5 hours. What was his hourly rate? So 5 hours is £80, so I want 1 hour. So I'm dividing this by 5. 80 divided by 5 is, I should do this in my head really, but 80 divided by 5, £16. Okay, so there we go. So David is getting £16 per hour. Okay. Jane's total income is £250 and she worked for 20 hours. What was her hourly rate? So 20 hours equals £250. So 1 hour is this divided by 20. So 250 divided by 20 is this. Perfect. Okay, remember to add the 0 on here because it's money, so pounds and pence, so we need to know the 0. So that's £12.50 per hour. Okay. Question 8. If Alex worked for 3 hours and earned £45, what was his hourly rate? So 3 hours is £45. We want 1 hour to find out his hourly rate. So divide 3, that'll be 15. So that'll be £15 per hour. Okay, Kate's hourly rate is £20 and she worked for 7 hours. Okay, so 1 hour gets Kate £20. 7 hours, well, she's going to get that £20 7 times. So we'll do 7 times 20 is £140. So let me write that over here, 140. Nice and clear. Right, question 10. Mark earned £150 for working 15 hours. What was his hourly rate? So 15 hours equals £150. Okay, we want 1 hour. So we're dividing by 15. And we should spot that that means that that is going to be £10. So he gets £10 per hour. Right, let's get this marked. Oh, here we go. Right, we've got here £16 per hour, £12.50 per hour, £15 per hour, £140, and £10 per hour. Perfect. Right, that was a nice start to the session. Right, so here we go. Now we've got the scenario questions, so let's have a look at these. Okay, obviously very similar to the practice, I guess. Difficult to have these without any form of scenario. So here we go. If John earns £15 per hour, how much will he earn in 8 hours? Okay, so 1 hour equals £15. So we want 8 hours. So we'll want this times 8. Okay, so let's do this. 15 times 8 is £120. There we go. One second, was that exactly the same as a question here? Nope. Yes, it was. It was exactly the same as this question here. So that isn't great. So let's change that question. Let's just say, and so we don't have to go into the mark scheme. Let's say he earns £20 per hour, and how much will he earn in 6 hours? Okay, and that will be the same answer. So we only have to change that in one place. Here we go. If Sean earns £20 per hour, how much will he earn in 6 hours? Okay. Right, there we go. Right, question 2. If Lisa earns £10 for every 2 chores she completes, how much will she earn if she completes 6 chores? Okay, this is interesting. So 2 chores equals £10. 6 chores, well, that's going to be that times 3. Okay, so that'll be this times 3. So that will be £30. Okay, right. Question 3. If David's hourly rate is £20, how much will he earn for working 6.5 hours? Oh, so we've got decimals in here this time. So 1 hour equals 20. So we want 6.5 hours. So we need to times this by 6.5. So here we go, we'll do 20 times 6.5. And that'll be £130. Okay, right, and I'll write that up here. Question 4. If Brenda earns £30 for delivering 15 newspapers, how much will she earn for delivering 25 newspapers? Ooh, okay, right. So 15 NP equals 25. No, equals £30. So let's go down, let's find out what 5 newspapers are, because 25 is a multiple of 5. So 5 newspapers will be this divided by 3. So that will be £10. And then 25 newspapers will equal this times 5, so that will be £50. So there we go, that will be the answer to that one. £50 for this. Right, question 5. If Mike earns £100 a day, how much will he earn in a week, assuming 5 working days? Okay, so 1 day equals 100. 5 days is this lot. 5 times that. Okay, so that will be £500. Here we go. He'll earn £500 in his week. Oh, and then let's get that marked. Okay, so here we go. Right, so question 1 is £120. Oh no, well it says in the 8 hours here, so I've got to go back and change that anyway. And so that's now, let me just check which page that is. 362. Sorry about this. There we go, 362. There we go. And then let's just minimize that. Oh. Okay, so next one. Lisa earns £10 for every 2 chores. Lisa will earn £30. Yep, that's there. 130 for David. 50 for Brenda. And 500 for Mike. Okay, great. Let's have a look at the second round of those. Here we go. And see how this goes. Right, so question 6. Amy worked for 9 hours and earned £117. Max worked for 12 hours and earned £180. Who had the better hourly rate? So it's the same question, but we're doing it twice. Okay, so 9 hours equals 117. So 1 hour equals 117 divided by 9. Okay, so that'll be £13. Okay, so Amy's on £13 per hour. So that's one part. And then, in fact, don't underline it yet because that's not the answer. Just say Amy underneath. And then Max is 12 hours at £180. So 1 hour equals 180 divided by 12. So that'll be £15 per hour. Okay, and that is the right answer. So we've got Max at £15 per hour. Okay, let me just get rid of those double lines there. Right, question 7. Okay, Kim earned £200 for working 8 hours and Emily earned £300 for working 10 hours. Who earned more per hour? Okay, right, so let's do Kim first. 8 hours equals £200. 1 hour equals 200 divided by 8, £25. Ooh, she's the best paid yet. Right, Emily earned 10 hours, got her £300. 1 hour is this divided by 10, so that's £30. So Emily earned more. So we say Emily at £30 per hour. Okay, right. John worked for 6 hours and earned £90, while Lisa worked for 10 hours and earned £200. How much more did Lisa earn compared to John? Okay, so this is a more question here, so there's a little bit more to do to it. So, right, so let's do John first. 6 hours equals £90. 1 hour will equal £15 because I've divided by 6. 10 hours equals £200. 1 hour equals £20. 20 take away 15 equals 5. Okay, how much more per hour did Lisa earn than John? £5 more per hour. Okay, here we go. Question 9. Mike earned £600 for working 40 hours and David earned £480 for working 30 hours. Who earned more per hour? Okay, so let's do Mike first. We've got 40 equals 600. 40 hours equals £600. So 1 hour equals 600 divided by 40. I think that's 15. Yep, so he gets £15 for 1 hour's work. David, we've got 30 hours equals £480. So 1 hour will equal this divided by 30, which I think might be 16. 480 divided by 30 equals 16. Yeah. So this is Mike, this is David. Who earned more per hour? David did £16 per hour. Okay, last question. Kate worked for 7 hours and earned £140. Mark worked for 12 hours and earned £180. Who had the better hourly rate? Okay, so 7 hours equals £140. 1 hour equals £20. Mark, 12 hours equals £180. 1 hour equals 180 divided by 12. And that's £15. So who had the better hourly rate? Kate at £20 per hour. Okay, right, let's get these ones marked. Okay, so, oh no, that's, ooh, shape next. That's exciting. Right, okay, so here we go, and then screen share. Okay, let's go. So first one, we've got It's these ones here we're looking at. So Max, better hourly rate by £2 per hour. Yeah, although that's not clear in the question that that's what that answer wants. So I think I should change that in the answer. I think so. Let's go to here. So let's say Max Max £15 per hour versus £13 per hour. Okay, I think that ties in better with the question. Okay, and then we can tick that. Right. Question 2. Actually, I could have just left that there. Here we go. Question 2. Question 7 even. We've got Emily at £30 per hour, because the question isn't asking how much more did she earn. It's just asking who earned more. So it is Emily, £30 per hour. So let's just change this as well to say Emily, £30 per hour versus Emily, £30 per hour versus Kim versus £25 per hour. Okay. Right, this next one, £5 more per hour. Lisa earned £5 more per hour than John. Yeah, we agree with that. Okay. David, £16 per hour. Okay. David earned who earned more per hour? David. Here we go. David. £16 per hour versus £15 per hour. And then Kate, who had a better hourly rate? Kate, and she had £20 per hour versus £15 per hour. Okay, right, and let's just get those questions up again. So here we go. So that's that there. Yeah, so they're in agreement now. I just want to check one last thing with these. Did these differences absolutely comply? Yeah, £5 difference. Yeah, £1 difference. Okay, right, I'm happy with that. Okay, so then we can go on to triangles. Okay, so let's skip over. Here we go. Right, area of a triangle equals, calculate the area of a triangle. Area of triangle equals half times base times height. Okay. So find the area of a triangle with base units, with a base of 8 units and a height of 4 units. Okay, so base of 8, so we've got half times base, which is 8, times height, which is 4. Okay, half of 8 first is 4, so this is 4 times 4, so this equals 16 units squared. Okay, Next one we've got here, I'll do this the other way. We could also do base times height divided by 2. So here we've got, actually I'll just keep doing this, a half times the base of 12 times the height of 6. Well, a half times 6 is 6, so this is 6 times 6 equals 36 units squared. Okay. Question 3. If a triangle has a base of 10 meters and a height of 3 meters, well, we're going to do half of 10, half times 10 times 3. Well, half of 10 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, if you were wanting to type these into your calculator and you weren't sure how to do the half, what we do is we just do 0.5 instead. So we'd just do 0.5 times 10 times 3 and get that there. Okay. Oh, and that's units squared. The squared is always important with the areas because areas are measured in squares. Okay. Calculate the area of a triangle with a base of 5 centimeters and a height of 7 centimeters. Right, sorry to jump back into the editing mode. This shouldn't happen here, where you've got a number on a different line to the units. So I'm just going to have to quickly nip back to 172, page 172. Where are we? Here we are. Maybe I can just make this a little bit light. Yay, there we go. That works nicely. Right, okay. Back to here. Okay, so half times 5 times 7. Okay, I will just use the calculator here for this one. So remember, half is 0.5. 0.5 times 5 times 7 equals 17.5 units squared. Question 5. Find the area of a triangle if its base is 16 feet and its height is 8 feet. Oh, this isn't units, this is centimetres. How long have I been ignoring that for? Meters, yeah, I ignored it here as well. And then here, this was inches. Right, and there we go. Right. Find the area of a triangle if the base is 16 feet and the height is this. So we've got a half times 16 times 8, which will be, a half of 16 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64. And this will be square feet. Okay, right. So let's get these questions marked. Okay. So here we go. Right. Okay, so we've got 16 units squared, yep. 30, oh, here we go. 16 units squared, 36 square inches, or inches squared, that's fine. 15 square meters, yep, meters squared, that's the same thing. 17.5 square centimeters, which is centimeters squared as well. Yep, and 64 square feet. Okay, you can use any form of expression for the units. You can use the words or you can use the units themselves. That is all fine. Right, okay. Question 6. Okay, so here we go. We've got a triangle has a base of 20 units and a height of 10 units. What is the area? So we've got a half times 20 times 10. Okay, so a half of 20 is 10. So this is just 10 times 10, which is 100 square units. Okay. Question 7. We've got a triangle has a base of 15 and a height of 6. What is the area of this? So this is a half times 15 times 6. What I'm actually going to do when I work this out, I'm actually going to half the 6 and then times that by the 15 because it's easier to half 6. Okay, So half of 6 is 3. 3 times 15 is 45. And its meters squared is the unit for the area because it's in meters. Okay. Question 8, we've got calculate a triangle with a base of 6 centimeters and a height of 9. That's happened again. So I just need to fix that. And a height of 9 centimeters. Here we go. Just make that a bit wider. And then level that up. Okay, so here we go. Back to the questions. Okay, so we've got here base of 6 centimeters and height of 9 centimeters. Okay, so we've got a half times 6 times 9. A half of 6 is 3. 3 times 9 is 27 centimeters squared. Okay, here we go. Find the area of a triangle if its base is 14 feet and its height is 7 feet. So what we've got here is we've got a half times the base of 14 times the height of 7. Half of 14 is 7. 7 times 7 is 49 and square feet. Okay, right. Question 10. A triangle has a base of 18 units and a height of 9 units. What is its area? So again, we've got a half times 18 times 9. Okay, a half of 18 is 9, so we've got 9 times 9 gives us 81, and this is units squared. Oh, actually, I'll just write it this time. Units squared, or square units. I think square units is nicer. It really doesn't matter, as long as you've got some indication of the unit that you're being dealt, and the fact that it's a square because it's area. Then that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's get this marked. Here we go. Right, so we've got here 100 square units. Yep, I'm reading from up here. 45 square units. 27 square centimeters. Yep. 49 square feet. And 81 square units. Okay. Right. Next. Okay, oh, we've got scenario questions and we've got a long one here. Okay. This is kind of how these questions always appear in the exams. It's a straightforward area question, but actually you've got to work out what's going on within it. So first one says, it says Zainab is planning to paint a triangular mural on her bedroom wall. The base of the triangle is 5 feet and the height is 3 feet. What is the area of the painted section if she covers the entire triangle surface? Okay, so basically what is the area of that triangle? So again, it's the same thing as always. It's a half. It's a half times the base, which is 5, times the height, which is 3. Okay, right, so I'm just going to do 5 times 3 first, and then half it. So 5 times 3 is 15. Half of 15 is 7.5 square feet. Okay. Remember, whenever it's multiplication, you can do it in any order you like. Okay, it's the one thing that absolutely doesn't really matter with the order. If it's all multiplied, you can just do what you like. So question 2 says, a construction company uses triangular metal brackets to reinforce shelves in retail stores. If the base of the bracket is 10 centimeters and the height is 6 centimeters, what is the area of the triangular bracket? Okay, so basically we've just got a story around a triangle. They just want the area of the triangle. The base is 10 centimeters, the height is 6 centimeters. So we've got a half times 10 times 6. A half of 10 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30 centimeters squared. Okay. Question 3. Ethan wants to build a small shed with a triangular roof. The base of the triangle is 4 meters and the height is 2 meters. What is the area of the triangular part of the roof? Okay, so you can picture it. You've got a shed here and there's these triangle sections at the end. Okay, so the base is 4 meters. The height is 2 meters. So the formula stands the same, a half times 4 times 2. Half of 4 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. There we go, so 4 meters squared. Right, question 4. The base of a triangular road sign is 2 feet and the height is 1.5 feet. How much reflective vinyl material is needed to cover the entire triangular area of the sign? Okay, so again, it's a story about a triangle, but essentially we just need to pick out the details. So the base is 2 feet, so we've got a half times the base of 2 times the height of 1.5. So this is going to equal a half of 2 is 1. 1 times 1.5 is 1.5. So this will be 1.5 square feet. Okay, question 5. We've got here, Lisa wants to sew a triangular fabric pennant for her DIY home decor project. The base of the pennant is 12 inches and the height is 9 inches. What is the area of the fabric she needs for the pennant? So again, just another story about a triangle. So we've got here, we pick out the information, we've got the base is 12, the height is 9, and we're talking inches. So we have a half times 12 times 9. A half of 12 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. So it'll be 54 square inches. Okay, right. Let's get this marked. Okay, so first of all, 7.5 square feet, 30 centimeters squared. I'm getting them from here. 1.5, 4 meters squared, 1.5 square feet, and 54 square inches. Excellent, no notes. Right, okay. Let's continue with these. So here we go, question 6. Okay, it says, in a construction project, a triangular area of land needs to be cleared of vegetation. The base of the triangle is 20 meters and the height is 8 meters. What is the area of the land that needs to be cleared? Okay, again, just another story about a triangle, but the key thing is finding out the base and the height. So the base is 20, the height is 8. So we've got here a half times 20 times 8. A half of 20 is 10, 10 times 8 is 80. So this will be 80 meters squared. Okay, let's look at the next question. Question 7. A retail store is designing a triangular display. Each shelf in the display has a base of 30 centimeters and a height of 12 centimeters. What is the total area of 3 of these triangular shelves? Ooh, we've spiced it up. Okay, so again, it's another story about a triangle. So we've got a triangle. The base of the triangle is 30 centimeters. The height is 12. So let's work out the area of the triangle shelf first, and then we'll deal with with the 3 shelves. Okay, so we've got a half times the base, which is 30, times the height, which is 12. So this becomes, I'm going to treat this like a half of 12, so that's 6. So I've got 30 times 6, which will be 180 centimeters squared. Okay, and then what is the total area of 3 of these shelves? So this is one shelf, so I've then just got to do 180 times 3. Okay, and I'm going to use my calculator for that. So 180 times 3, and that will be 540 centimeters squared. Okay, question 8. In a DIY flooring project, Kylie needs to cut a triangular piece of carpet to fit a corner of the room. The base of the triangle is 5 feet and the height is 4 feet. How much carpet material does she need for this triangular section? So again, it's another story about a triangle, and here's the triangle. It's the triangle with base 5 feet and height 4 feet. So the area is a half times 5 times 4 Okay, well half of 4 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So that's going to be 10 square feet. Okay, question 9. Let's have a look here. A construction company is pouring concrete to create a triangular slab foundation. The base of the triangle is 6 meters and the height is 3 meters. What is the area of the concrete slab foundation? Okay, again, just another triangle story. So we just pick out the information. 6 and 3. So we've got a half times 6 times 3. Half of 6 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9 meters squared. Okay, lastly, question 10. In a retail store, a product box has a triangular end. If the base of the triangle is 8 inches and the height is 6 inches, what is the area the triangular end occupies on the shelf? Okay, so pick out the information. Base 8, height 6. So again, we've got a half times the base, which is 8, times the height, which is 6. A half of 8 is 4. 4 times 6 is 24 square inches. Okay, so let's get this marked. Okay, dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Right. So, dun, dun, dun. Right. 80 meters, 80 square meters. Yep, perfect. 540 square centimeters. Yep. 10 square feet. Yep. 9 square meters. Yep. And 24 square inches. Perfect. On to the next topic. Right, so, circumference. Right, we're definitely going to need our calculator for this. Okay, so, the circumference of a circle is given by the formula circumference equals pi times diameter or 2 times radius times pi. Okay. And in functional skills, they always get you to use that pi is 3.14, so we've just got to remember that. So here we go. If the radius of a circle is 5 centimeters, what is the circumference of the circle? So we're going to use the radius formula here, so it's going to be 2 times 5 times pi, okay, which is 2 times 5 times 3.14, and then I'm going to need to use my calculator for that. Okay, so 2 times 5 times 3.14. Okay, so here we go. So that, that is just 3.14, 31.4, and circumference is a length, so that's going to still be centimeters. Okay. Next one, what is the circumference of a circle with diameter 8? So this time we're just going to use pi times diameter, so pi times 8, 3.14 times 8 equals this. So here we go, 3.14 times 8 equals 25.12. And then remember, circumference is a length, so it's still in just the unit that they give you, so that's meters. Question 3. The circumference of a circle is 31.4 centimeters. What is its radius? Okay. Oh, right, we're working backwards. Okay, so we've got here 2 times the radius times 3.14 equals 31.4. Okay, so let's just treat this as one thing here. So something times 3.14 equals 31.4. So the way that we get this something is by doing 31.4 divide 3.14. Okay, and that equals 10. So we get 2 times the radius equals 10. And then what times 2 equals 10? Well, that will mean that the radius will be 5. Okay, right. Question 4. if the circumference of the circle is 18.84 inches, what is the diameter? Okay, so we want the diameter that time. So diameter times 3.14 equals 18.84. So the diameter will equal 18.84 divided by 3.14. So 18.84 divided by 3. Okay, and that will equal 6 inches. Okay. Find the circumference of a circle with radius 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so so that's going to be 2 times the radius times pi. Okay, so 2 times 2.5 times 3.14. Okay, so that's going to be 15.7 centimeters. Okay, right. Let's get these ones marked. Okay, so here we go. If I just move this here. Right. So, question 1. Oh no, we've done those ones. Here we go. 31.4. Yep. 25.12. Yep. 5. Yep. 6. Yep. And 15.7. Okay, perfect. Right, next round. Okay, so here we go. Right. The diameter of a circle is 12 feet. What is the circumference? Okay, that's nice. Pi times diameter, 3.14 times 12. Okay, let's get the calculator out. 3.14 times 12. And that's going to be 37.68 feet. Okay. Question 7. What is the circumference of a circle with a radius of 6.2 meters? Okay, so 2 times 6.2 times 3.14. Here we go. So 2 times 6.2 times 3.1. Okay, that's going to be 38.936 meters. Okay, right, question 8. If the circumference of a circle is 62.8 centimeters, what is the radius? Okay, so we've got the radius, well, the circumference in the radius form, so we get 2 times the radius times 3.14 equals 62.8. I was thinking here, we could actually just times the 3.14 and the 2 together first if we wanted. So we could think about this as radius times 6.28, well, equals 62.8. And then we've got to think what times 6.28 equals 62.8. Well, remember, we can probably see that it's 10, but we can also work this out by doing 62.8 divided by 6.28. Okay, so remember this is the reverse calculation. So we get here that the radius equals 10 centimeters. Okay. Question 9. The diameter of a circle is 7.6 inches. What is the circumference? So remember, pi times diameter, so 3.14 times the diameter equals the circumference, which in this case is 7.6. Okay, so therefore we want to find out what times 3.14 gives us 7.6. So we're just going to divide 7.6 by 3.14 and that will give us the diameter. Okay, so let's work this out. That's our reverse calculation. 0.6 divided by... It's also like our direct proportion, really. We're just dividing by 3.14, dividing by 3.14. Okay, so 3.16 divided by 3.14. Ooh, okay, right, so 2.42. And that will be inches. Okay, right. Last one, find the circumference of a circle with a radius of 3.8 meters. Okay, so here we go. So that's 2 times the radius, and that will times pi, and that will equal the circumference. Okay, so 2 times 3.8 times 3.14. Okay, and that's going to be 23.86 because they want it to 2 decimal places, and that is meters. Okay, right, let's get this bit marked. Okay, so if I minimize this, I can see the answers again, and then here we go. So we've got the first bit here is 37.68. Then we've got 38.94. Perfect. Then we've got 10. Yep. Then we've got... Oh, are these two the same? 1 second. I think I just accidentally wrote the same number twice there in the answers. So I think... Let me just double check this question. So the diameter... Oh, no, I completely misread the question. I thought it was like the one above, but it wasn't. Okay, let me alter that. Well done, anyone that noticed that. I'm really sorry. So here we go. We've got, if the diameter is 7.6 inches, what is the circumference? Well, it's just 7.6 times 3.14. Okay, and I can see actually 2 times 3.8 is 7.6. So that is the same as the one below. It's just a slightly different one. Okay, but that will also equal 23.86 meters. And this is the reason I'm having to do the double check and the triple check. Okay, right, so that is now correct though, so that is fine. That's good, that's mystery solved. And, oh no, I even got it wrong again. Inches. Okay. Right, so here we go. That is the inches there. And this is the 23.86 meters. Okay, right. So let's have a look at the scenario ones. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of stories about circles here. So that's going to be quite exciting. So one sec, I'm just going to take a drink. Okay, so here we go. We've got question 1 here. And this one says, the radius... Okay, it's a question about pi, using pi. Okay, fine. Anyway, right. The radius of a circular pi is 3.5 centimetres. What is the total distance around the edge of the pi, or its circumference, assuming pi equals 3.14? Okay, fine. Usually, it's quite nice actually, in a lot of these questions, they might tell you that pi is 3.14, or if not, they do tell you on the front of the exam paper. So, that's what this is referencing. Okay, so circular pi 3.1, the radius. Okay, so it's the 2. Oh, we've got 2 times the radius times pi, and we'll work this out here. So 2 times. Okay, so this equals 21.98 centimetres. Okay. Right, another story about a circle here. The diameter of a hula hoop is 0.8 metres. What is the distance covered by one full rotation of the hoop or its circumference, assuming that pi equals 3.14? Okay, so so the rotation of the hoop would be its circumference. So I think because this is kind of like a training book, I've put in this bit to be nice and just kind of like give you an idea that these are different things that these could work out to be. Okay, so I'm actually okay with all of this. So we've got here, diameter is 3.14 times 0.8. Okay, and we're going to have to do that on here. So 0.8 times 3.14 equals 2.512. And they want it to 2 decimal place, so that's 2.51 meters. I'm just going to put that. I don't know why I felt inclined to write that there, but I did. Okay. Question 3. Susan is making a circular tablecloth. The radius of the tablecloth is 1.25 meters. What is the length of the outer edge of the tablecloth, or its circumference, assuming that pi equals 3.14? Okay, so again, the outer edge of a tablecloth would be its circumference. So here we go. We've been given the radius, so it's going to be 2 times the radius times pi. Okay, so we've got this here. So 2 times 1.25 times 3.14 equals, here we go. And that will be, oh, why am I writing pounds? That will be 7.85 meters. Okay, it's a big table. All right. Question 4. A circular pond has a diameter of 7.5 feet. What is the distance around the pond, or its circumference, assuming pi equals 3.14? What is the distance around the pond? Okay, so here we go. I'm actually, the more I read this, I think I want to get rid of these or its circumference bits, because I actually think it's confusing. We're in the circumference section. I think actually it's going to be better if I get rid of those. So I'm going to do that in a moment, but I'll finish answering these questions first. So a circular pond has a diameter of 7.5 feet. What is the distance around the pond? So it's diameter this time. So it's going to be 7.5 times the 7.5 multiplied by pi, which is 3.14. Just out of interest, how does it read to you guys? Do you prefer it with the leaving in the or its circumference, or would that be okay to delete that? Does that add a little bit of confusion? If anyone could feedback that, let me know. That'd be great. So here we go. We've got 23.55 feet. Okay, so, and that's perfect. Right, let's have a look here. Question 5 says, the radius of a circular pizza is 0.6 meters. What is the total distance around the edge of the pizza, or its circumference, assuming, I think that or its circumference makes it sound like it's something different. Okay, or its circumference, assuming that pi equals 3.14. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say that 3.14, I'm going to say that the radius is that, so we've got 2 times the radius, which is 0.6, multiplied by the 3.14. Okay, so let's get this done. So 2 times 0.6 times 3.14. Okay, and that equals 3.79 feet. Okay, and I've decided I'm going to get rid of these. Okay. Okay, so let's get these marked, and then I'm just going to quickly cross these off here. Here we go. I'm going to leave in the assuming pi bit, because that often appears, but they wouldn't tell you that the outside of the circles were the circumference. Okay, so in fact, let's just do that bit first. So this is page 178. Okay, what page? 178. Okay, I just need to get rid of this phrase from here. Okay, right. I actually think, because I've put here, use pi equals 3.14, I think actually that's messy as well. I think it's just unnecessary writing. Sorry, thank you for bearing with me with this. Okay, right, whilst I'm here, I bet you this runs through the other one as well, so I'm just going to quickly do these ones now as well. It's funny, when I wrote it like this, I must have thought it was such a good idea. But I think this is what the reflection of time gives you. Okay, right, so there we go, so that's those done. Right, now let's get back to here, and then I can go to here, mark this, minimize this. Okay, get out the red pen, and hopefully the answers are correct. Right, so here we go. Question 1. Yep, that's right. Question 2. Oh no, that's area. Question 2. Yep, 2.51. Question 3. Yep, that's right as well. Question 4, 23.55. Question 5. Well, they've put 3.77. I've put 3.79. 1 second. We need to check which one of those is right. And it's them actually. It's 3.77. Oh dear. I think I was getting flustered by all the word changes happening. It's so easy to get distracted in these things. So, but excellent. Right. Oh. Let's have a look at the next round. So here we go. Question, here we go, it's a 43 scenario. So here we go, we've already updated these. So I'm just gonna put that there. Okay, so the diameter of a target for archery is 3/4 of a foot. What is the total distance around the outer edge of the target? Okay, so that's, again, the circumference. Yeah, so that makes sense. So we've got here 2/3 of a foot. So that's going to be, it's going to look like this. 2/3 is the diameter. So 2/3 times 3.14. Okay, right. If you've got a calculator with a fraction button, perfect. If you don't, all you do is you do 2 divided by 3. Press equals. Then we've got 2/3 as our number there that's stored, and then we can then multiply that by 3.14. Okay, and that's 2.09. Okay, and that's feet. Here we go. Right, question 7. A circular garden. A circular garden has a radius of 1.5 yards. What is the length of the outer edge of the garden? What is the length of the outer edge of the garden? Okay, so here we go. The radius, we've got 2 times the radius times 3.14. So this is what we'll do here. So 2 times the radius, which is 1.5, times 3.14. And this equals 9.42. And that's yards. Question 8. We've got the diameter of a bike wheel is 3/4 meter. What is the distance covered by the bike wheel during one full rotation? Okay, there we go. So we've got 3/4 multiplied by pi, because they've given us a diameter. And remember, if you don't have the fraction button, we just do 3 divided by 4, because that's what that line means. Press equals, and then we can times that. Here we go. This is going to be 2.36 meters. Okay. Question 9. A circular swimming pool has a radius of 3.2 feet. What is the total distance around the pool? What is the total distance around the pool? Okay, so we can do our formula, which is 2 times the radius times pi. Here we go, the calculator is going to help us out with this one. 2 times 3.2 times 3.14. And so that equals 20. Oh, okay, and that would round up to 20. The 9 gets rounded up there. So this is actually going to be 20.10. You've got to keep that O because we've rounded it. And that's feet. Okay, question 10. We've got the radius of a circular clock is 2.25 inches. What is the length of the outer edge covered by the minute hand in 1 hour? Okay, so the minute hand's the long one, that's what it's implying, so it's going to go all the way around the outside of the clock. Okay, so here we go. What is the length of the outer edge covered by the minute hand in 1 hour? So that's going to be the circumference again. The radius is 2.5, so it's the radius formula. So we've got 2 times 2.25 times 3.14. Okay, so let's work this out. 2 times 2.25 times 3.14. Okay, here we go. So that equals 14.13 inches. Okay, right, let's get these marked. Okay, so here we go. Right, question 6, here we are. Yep, 2.09 feet, 9.42 yards, 2.36 meters, yay, 2.10 feet, and then 4.13. Right, here we go. On to topic 44. Calculate the area of a circle. So, just to let you know, for this topic, the formula that you need to know is that the area equals pi times radius squared. Okay, so pi r squared is the way that we remember it. Okay, so let's have a go with this. Okay, calculate the area of a circle with radius 2.5. So this is going to be 3.14 for pi times 2.5 times 2.5 squared. Okay, which is the same as 3.14 times 2.5 times 2.5. Okay, and let's work this out. So we've got here 3.14 times 2.5 times. There you go. And they said 2 decimal places, so that's going to be 19.63. And it's centimetres squared again because we're in areas. Okay, so areas is always squared. Ooh. Right, calculate the area of a circle with a diameter of 3 foot. Okay, Okay, this is mean, but we've learned about fractions and stuff. That's fine. So if we've got the diameter, we need to get to the radius. So the radius is going to be radius equals 3 over 4 divided by 2. Okay, so let's just do that on the calculator first. So we've got 3 divided by 4 equals this. Divide that by 2 is here, equals 0.375. And so we've got 3.14 times 0.375 squared. Okay, and we don't have to write out that separate working out, we just need to know what squared means. So 3.14 times 0.37, oh, 0.375 times 0.375. Okay, and that's going to be 0.44 square feet. Okay. Question 3. Calculate the area of a circle with radius 1.2 meters. So that's going to be 3.14 times 1.2 squared. So we've got here 3. Okay, that's going to be 4.5216, which equals 4.52 meters squared. Okay, question 4. Calculate the area of a circle with a diameter of 5.5 inches. So remember, first of all, we need to get the radius by dividing the diameter by 2. So here we go. And then we can use the formula 3.14 times radius squared. So we've got 3. Okay, and then we get a bunch of numbers. And then we want to round it to 2 decimal places. That's 23.75 square inches. And I'll just indicate that with that little 2. Okay. Calculate the area of a circle with a radius of 3.75 feet. So here we go. We can do 3.14 times 3.75 squared. Just do that on the calculator. Okay, there we go, and that equals 44.156, which equals 44.16, and that's square feet. Okay, units are always important in area questions. Okay. So let's take this down. Here we go. Calculate the area of the circle. Practice questions. 19.63. Yep. 0.44. Excellent. 4.52. Yes. And 23.75. Perfect. We've got 44.16. Wonderful. Right. Okay, let's go on to the next bit. So, question 6 here. Okay, right. Calculate the area of a circle with the diameter of 1.6. So again, so the radius will equal 1.6 divided by 2, which will actually equal 0.8, and then we can do 3.14 times 0.8 squared. Let's see what this gives us. So we've got 3.14. Oh no, that's 31.4. That gives a much different number. Times and that's 2.0096, which will be 2.01 centimeters squared to 2 decimal places. Okay. So let's continue on with question 7. Okay. So we've got the radius. Oh no, we've been given the radius this time. So let's just work out what the radius equals first in a decimal form. So, well, actually, we'll just do it on the calculator. So this is going to be 3.14 times 3/8 squared. So let's work out the 3/8 squared first and then times that by the 3.14. So 3/8 is 3 divided by 8, which equals 0.375. So then we can do that times 0.375. And then we can times that by pi. Here we go. And that equals 0.44. Oh, there was one that equaled 0.44 last time. Which one was it? This was the same question. But it was different enough. I'm happy that that's different enough. Okay, so meters squared. Right, here we go. Question 8. Calculate the area of a circle with diameter 2.25 yards. Okay, so the radius equals 2.25 divided by 2. Okay, so let's do that. 2.25 divided by 2 is 1.125. So then we're looking at 3.14 times 1.125 squared. Okay, so here we go. We've got 3.14 times 1.125 times 1.125. Here we go. And that equals 3.974, which equals 3.97 square yards, okay, to 2 decimal places. Okay, right. Oh, I accidentally moved the whole page over. There we go. Calculate the area of a circle with a radius of 7/6 inches. Okay, right, so that's going to be 3.14 times 7/6 squared. Okay, right. Now this is going to be a bit tricky because this isn't going to give us a nice answer. So what we're going to get is 7 divided by 6 to get that as that is what 7/6 is. Now we want to square this, so I'm going to have to times it by. I'll just write this out again. 1.167. Okay, so that is the radius squared, and then I want to times this by 3.14. Okay, and this will be accurate enough. 4.273, which equals 4.27 square inches. Right, question 10 is calculate the area of a circle with a diameter of 0.9 meters. Okay, so again we want the radius equals 0.9 divided by 2, so that would be 0.45. So we're looking at 3.14 times 0.45 squared. Okay, so 3.14 times 0.5 times 0.5. Here we go. Right, okay, let's get these ones marked. Here we go. 6 to 10. Okay, so here we go, first one. Square centimetres, yep, 0.44 square metres. 3.97 square yards. Yeah. 4.27 square inches. 0.64 meters squared. Right. And then on to 44. Okay. Right. Question 1. The radius of a circular swimming pool is 5 meters. What is the area of a pool? Okay, so we've got 3.14 times 5 squared, which actually is 3.14 times 25. Okay, and let's work that out. Oh no. I missed the decimal. Question 2. A circular pizza has a diameter of 12 inches. What is the area of the pizza? So we need to find out the radius. Okay, so we can. Question 3. The radius of a circular garden is 8 feet. What is the area of the garden? Okay. Okay, question 4. A circular tablecloth with a diameter of 1.5 meters covers an entire table. What is the area of the tablecloth? Okay, so radius. Okay. And then question 5. The radius of a circular patio is 6.5 meters. What is the area of the patio? Okay, so okie dokie, right. Let's get these ones marked. Okay, here we are. 4 scenario. Yeah. Right. Okay, so this one isn't rounded to 2 decimal places. Let's just double check that that definitely is the 2 decimal place. Is that one? That's okay. Again. Okay. Definitely said 2 decimal places at the start, didn't it? Round answers up to 2 decimal places. Yep. Okay, so this is correct. This one here. Right. Yeah. Okay, right. Next round of scenario questions. Now these ones are tricky because I was feeling like by this stage I needed to start introducing the percentage stuff that we've done before. So let's get cracking with these and let's have a look. So we've got here Jane has a circular garden with a radius of 5 metres and Teng Fei has a circular garden with a radius of 8 metres. Teng Fei believes his garden is 60% larger than Jane's. Is he correct? Okay, so let's work out Jane's garden plus 60% and then we will go from there. So we've got Jane is 3.14 times 5 squared. Okay, and that will give the area of that garden. So we've got here 3.14 times 25. Okay. Now, if I want to increase this by 60%, I times it by 1.6. Okay. And so times this by 1.6. And so this should be the size of Teng Fei's garden. I'll just put a note there, 60% bigger. Okay. Teng Fei has a radius of 8, so his is going to be 3.14 times 8 squared, which is going to equal 3.14 times 64. So that would be 200.96. Believes his garden is 60% larger. Is he correct? No. Much larger than 60%. Okay. Right, next one. Question 7. Susan, a small circular swimming pool has a diameter of 12 feet, while a circular swimming pool has a diameter of 18 feet. The owner of the larger pool claims it is 50% bigger than the smaller one. Is this true? Okay, I can see the mistake that these people are making. So I know that this isn't true because basically the diameter is 50% bigger, but that doesn't mean that the area will be 50% bigger. The area is going to be a lot more than 50% bigger, but we need to prove it. So let's first of all say, we'll do the small one here. Small is going to be 3.14 times 6 squared. We'll find out what that gives us. So 3.14 times 36, and that will equal 113.04 meters squared. Okay, so that's the area of the small one. Okay. So that's the area of the small pool. And then the second one, we're going to have... maybe I should have actually put something about the area. A small circular pool has a diameter of 12 feet, while a larger circle... The owner of the larger pool claims its area is 50% bigger. Yeah, no, it does need to say area, because it could be mistaken with volume, actually. So, let me just do that. What page was this? This was page 183. Sorry, this is getting a bit stop-starty. Right, page 183. The owner of the larger pool claims its area is 50% bigger than the smaller one. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So we've got 3.1 times this, and then we need to increase this by 50%, so we can times that by 1.5. 113.04 times 1.5 equals this. Okay, so we've got... Okay, so that's the area of the small pool. That's the area of the small pool plus 50%. Okay, then let's work out his one. So we've got 3.14 times 9 squared. Okay, so 254.34. Okay, so we've got this, we've got this. No, much larger. Okay, right, question 8. We have here, Susan has a circular rug with a radius of 7 feet. Mike has a circular rug with a radius of 10 feet. Mike says his rug is 75% larger. Is he accurate? So let's work out Susan first. So we've got 3.14 times 49 equals this, and then we'll times that by 1.75. So, 1 second. So 3.14 times 7 equals this. Okay, so this is Susan. That's 75% larger than Susan's rug. That is a key answer there. And then let's look at Mike's rug. So we've got here 3.14 times, his radius is 10 squared. So that's actually going to be 3.14 times 100. So that would be 314 square feet. So that's Mike's answers. And so no, again, no, much larger. Okay. Right, question 8. Aisha has 3 circular flower beds, each with a radius of 4 feet. Carla has 2 circular flower beds, each with a radius of 6 feet. Carla believes that her total flower bed area is 50% greater than Aisha's. Is she correct? Okay, they're all being pretty wrong so far, but let's have a look. So, Aisha, radius 4 feet, 3 of them though. So we've got 3.14 times 4 squared, but then we're going to have that times 3 because there's 3 of them. Okay, so there we go. This is going to be Aisha's total. 3.14 times 4 squared is 16 times 3 because there's 3 of them. Okay, so that's 150. So this is her actual area, square feet. Okay, now we want to find out 50% bigger than that so we can compare it to Aisha's. Carla believes her total flower bed area is, okay, so we need to then do 150.72 times 1.5, and that will be the 50% increase. So 150 times 72 times 1.5. Okay, so there we go. So this is the 50% greater one for Aisha. I'm just going to underline this because this is what we're comparing. And then Carla has 2 flower beds that are 6 feet radius. So we've got 3.14 times 6 squared, and then we've got 2 of them, so we'll times that by 2. So this one here will equal 3.14 times 36, because that's what 6 squared is, times 2. Oh! Finally, somebody's correct. Well done. Right. Okay. Aisha's got it. Carla's got it even. Carla believes... oh, no. Carla's wrong. Because they're actually the same. Okay. So Carla believes her total flower bed area is 50% greater than Aisha's. Is she correct? And this time, no. They are equal. Equal. Okay. Oh, let me get rid of that. Okay, right, so no, they are equal. Right, lastly, question 10. We've got here that Peter has a circular pizza with a diameter of 14 inches, while Esther has a square pizza with side lengths 18 inches. Esther claims her pizza has 50% more area than Peter's pizza. Is she right? So let's do... Peter's first. So so the radius will be 7, okay, because they've given us the diameter there. So the radius will be 7, so we've got 3.14 times 7 squared, and I'm actually just going to include the 50% add-on already, times 1.5 for the 50% increase. So if we do all of this, we will get the area that is 50% more than Peter's. So 3.14 times 49 times 1.5. That's a 10. 1.5. That equals 230.79 square inches. So that's the 50% more inches. Okay. And then Esther's is going to be, it's a square, so square area is side length times side length. So we've got 18 times 18. Okay. And so we've got here 18 times 18. Ooh. 18 times 18. And that's 324 square inches. Right, she is correct. Well, she's not. She's wrong because she's got much more. So she's not wrong. No. Has much more. Okay, there we go. Right, let's get these ones marked. I hope none of these are wrong. They were quite a long ordeal to work out. Okay, right, so let's go here. And then we need here. Okay, right, so, oh, this is annoying. Right, this is a problem really. So, well, as long as we've got the right one, I think that's fine. So, we've got, yeah. So, this is a problem, I think, because it's unclear. So I'll come back to this and think about this later, but I'll put a star here just to remember that the answers are quite different. So no, as long as we've got the no, we've got the no, we've got the no, we've got, oh, interesting. Oh, right, Carla. So this was wrong, so this one is right. Right, this one can be left. I just wrote the answer down incorrectly. And here we've got no, yes. Oh. No, well this doesn't tie in with the question. Esther claims her pizza has 50% more area than pizzas. Well, I've said here in the answer that yes, Esther's pizza is actually 111% larger. But no, because that doesn't tie in with what it says here, which says Esther claims her pizza has 50% more area. So if it said Esther claims her pizza has more than 50% more area, then that would be fine, but that isn't what has been said. So I need to do something about that. So I think I need to change the answer to say no. I'm going to change the answers to say what I've written down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the areas in the answer scheme. I think that's what I need to do. I'm actually going to do that now. I'm really sorry, because that's going to be quite boring. But if you come back, I will put the timestamps in here so you can skip over this bit if you need to. Right, it has much more. But that is correct, I believe. So, yeah. Yes, yeah, this is what I want to do. So let me go to the mark scheme. Yeah. So, right. So first things first. Let's change this. No, we're going to change it in the mark scheme. That's it. Okay, so no. You know what? I also want to actually include these percentages that I'm getting rid of. Right, I just want to check something out here. So if it's 100, if this is right, 111% larger, so I should be able to do 230.79 times 1.11. Hey, right, I am currently, I am at the moment. I'm just doing these videos, these ones, until I finish editing the book. So I'm hoping to have the book, to get through this last edit of the book by Sunday, actually. So I'm trying to do 2 a day, but I've got some stuff on over the weekend. But once I've done this final edit, then the book is going to be for sale in about a week's time. And you'll be able to buy it. It's an Amazon Kindle print on demand thing. So you'll be able to buy it over Amazon, but I will also probably put a link on my website, and very excitingly, I'm about 100 watch hours away from being able to become a YouTube member. So once I can do that as well, I can put a link on YouTube. So I'll be able to do that there as well. Yeah, oh, thank you for talking to me. Right, I hope this bit isn't too dry. It's really appreciated that you're watching. Right, so what was I going to do? Right, right. What was I trying out? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. So if I put this in here, what's that? If I do 230.79 times 1.11. Oh, 1 second. That's why is that? Oh, because it's that larger. So actually, no, it's 1 second. It's 230.79 times 2.11. Oh, I see. It's larger than the original value. Got it. Right. So 11%. Right. 111% refers to what it was beforehand. So 111% is 3.14 times 7 squared times 2.11. There we go. Right, so these, I think I want to keep these bits in, because I think with this there's going to be multiple ways that people might have answered this, or as I'm seeing. 1 second. Actually, I didn't want to do that. I want to leave that in line with that, because these bits can be done. So I just need to go back and review this as well. So I want the answers back up. Okay, and I want to check with this here. Right, so right, so the answers said this first one was 156% larger. So if I go back to here, right, so if I go back to the remarkable, 156% larger is going to be this 78.5 multiplied by 2.156, and that should give me 10 phase garden, which is 169. Oh no, that's not right. Oh, damn it, I'm all over the place. 78.5 times 100% plus 156% divided by 100, which is 2.56. Yes, okay, so that is right, that first one. So it is 156% larger. So I will just keep that in. Okay, right. I'm going to have to just readjust that. Okay. Then we've got the second one, which we're saying 125% bigger. So let's go here. So it was originally 113.04. 113.04 multiplied by 113.04 multiplied by 2.25. Excellent, yeah, so that is also correct. So 125 larger. Okay. This is... Right. Right, so here we've got right, so number 4, question 7, 104% larger. So that's one that's here. So we're going to have to do 153.86 times 2.04. Yes, and that gives me 314. Yes, that's right as well. So let's put that in the mark scheme as well. Right, okay. Right, okay, that's that one. Okay, that was a long one, but they are all correct, and those were fine. Okay, so now I think if somebody looks in the mark scheme, okay, I think people will be able to see, they'll be able to judge if they've got that correct in that mark scheme there. So let's then move on now to topic 45. Okay, here we go. I might not quite get through topic 45 today. Let's have a look. So here we've got the area of compound shapes. Okay, so this is where we've got to use the formulas that we've been using so far to do these here. So we've got this one here. A shape is made of a rectangle with length 10 centimeters and a width 6 centimeters. On each of the 6 centimeter sides there is a semicircle. What is the total area of the shape? Okay, so the two semicircles form a circle. The two semicircles form a circle with a diameter of 6. So that means the radius equals 3. So the area of the circle is 3.14 times 3 squared. The rectangle is going to be 10 by 6. Okay, so area circle, area rectangle will equal 10 times 6, will be 60 centimeters squared. Okay, I didn't actually finish the area of the circle. I just said it's going to be 3.14 times 3 squared. So that's going to be 3.14 times 9. And that will be 28.26 centimeters squared. Okay, so I need to then combine these. So then just add them together, 28.26, add 60, and that will be 88.26 centimeters squared. Okay, wonderful. Right, next one. Here we've got, let me move my calculator out of the way. So here we've got here, a shape is made of a rectangle with length 15 millimeters and a width 9 millimeters. Okay, we can see the dimensions on the diagram. On each of the 9 millimeter sides, no, that's not right. A shape is made of a let's just read this first one again. On each of the 6 centimeter, no, that is right. On each of the 6 centimeter side, there is a semicircle. What is the total area of the shape? That is fine, because this is on the 6 centimeters. This is on the 9 millimeter side. So on each of the 9 millimeter side, there is a semicircle. What is the total area of the shape? So here we go. We've got the circle and we've got the rectangle again. So the rectangle will be 15 times 9. The semicircle has the diameter of 9. So the radius equals 9 divided by 2 equals 4.5. So we've then got here pi 3.14 times 4.5 squared. Okay, and I'm going to just think about that, and then plus the 15 times 9. Okay, so let's work these bits out. So we've got 3.14 times 4.5 squared, which is 4.5 times 4.5. So that will be 63.58 for this bit, 63.585, and then 15 times 9 is 135 plus 135. So and then if I add that 63.585 to that, and this equals 198.59 millimeters squared. Okay, right. Okay, question 3. We've got here the same shape again. Okay, it's a really popular shape that comes up actually. A shape is made of a rectangle with length 4 meters and width 3 meters on each of the 3 meter sides. There is a semicircle. On each of the 3 meter sides there is a semicircle. What is the total area of the shape? Okay, so again, we've got the circle, okay, with the 3, and we've got the rectangle, which is the 3 by 4. So this is going to be 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. This is going to be 3 divided by 2, so this is going to be 3.14 times 1.5 squared. So we work out what that is. Okay, so we've got 3 times 4. Oh no, I've done that one. 3.14 times 1.5 times 1.5. So that's going to be 7.065. So we've got 7.065, add 12, and that's going to be 19.065. They've said to 2 decimal places, so that's going to be 19.07 meters squared. Okay, right, with this one, we can see here that we've got the triangle and we've got the rectangle. So it says here, a shape is made of a triangle with base 8 centimeters and height 6 centimeters. On the base there is a rectangle whose length is equal to the base of the triangle and the width is equal to the height of the triangle. What is the total area of this shape? Okay, so what is the total area of the shape? Well, we're going to have the area of the triangle, which is going to be half times 6 times 8, which will be half of 6 is 3, 3 times 8 is 24, so that's 24 centimeters squared for the triangle. And then we've got 6 times 8 for the rectangle. 6 times 8 is 48. Okay, and then we'll just need to add those together. 48 add 24 is going to be 217. So that's good. Yeah, that's going to be 72 centimeters squared. And let me just write that now nice and clearly underlined so that I can see that nicely when I mark it. Okay, right. Let's do up to question 5 and then we will mark these. Actually, I'll do up to question 6 just because there's 2 on here. Okay, so question 5 we've got here. A shape is made of a triangle with base 12 millimeters and height 9 millimeters. On the base there is a rectangle whose length is equal to the base of the triangle and the width is equal to the height of the triangle. What is the total area of the shape? So we're going to have, the triangle is going to be half times 10 times 9, and then that's going to equal 5 times 9, which is 45 millimeters squared. And then we're going to have here, we're going to have the rectangle is just the 9 times 10. So 9 times 10 is 90 millimeters squared. Okay, and then so if we add these together, that'll be 135 millimeters squared. Okay, right, let me get these marked. I think I'll keep with my rhythm of 5 and 5. So here we go. I just need to get back to question 1. And then here we go. Get that here. So compound shapes, practice ones here. So the first one, 88.26 centimeters squared, perfect. This one here, we have got 198.59 millimeters squared, excellent. It's nice when we agree. Here we've got 19.07 meters squared. And then here we've got 72 centimeters squared, wonderful. And then here we've got we've got a disagreement. They've got 162, I've got 135. So let's just have a look at this again. So here we go. A shape is made of a triangle with base 12 millimeters and height 9. Oh, right. I see the problem is in here. So this says 12 and I went from this measurement that says 10. Okay, so let's see what happens if, well actually, I need to edit the question and then I need to edit the answer. So if I did a half, in fact, let's just stick with the answer, okay? And we'll just edit. I think it's this bit that's the problem because I added this on later. Okay, so what we've got here is we have got a half times 12 times 9 and then 12 times 9 here. So this should be 12. Okay, just make that there. So a half times 12 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. 9 times 12 is 108. Yeah, 54 add 108 is 2161. Yeah, there we go. So I just need to go edit this diagram in the questions. So here we go. Just double check what page number this was. 186. So I'm looking for page 186. Oh, we're getting so far through. This is brilliant. 186. Here we go. So I need this here to say 12. Yep, that's definitely what I wanted it to do. Question 5. So they're 12 millimeters, 12 millimeters. All good. Right. Let me go back to here. And then we need to go back to the screen. Right, so I can now tick this as correct because we match with the mark scheme and the document matches as well. Okay, and then let's move on with question 6. Okay, so here we go. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one because that doesn't allow me to use the calculator. Okay, right, so there we go. And then I wanted to give that a tick. Okay, right. Question 6 says, a shape is made of a triangle with base 5 meters and height 4 meters. On the base there is a rectangle whose length is equal to the base of the triangle. Okay, yep, and the width is equal to the height of the triangle. What is the total area of the shape? Okay, we've happily got the measurements on it, that really helps. Okay, so the triangle will be a half times 4 times 5, and then the rectangle would just be 4 times 5. So this bit is going to be 10 meters squared, this bit will be 20 meters squared. Okay, and then together the total area will be 30 meters squared. Let's keep going here. And so this time we've got a triangle and a semicircle. Okay, so let's do the semicircle first. Well, the semicircle is half the circle. The radius of the semicircle is going to be 3. So we're going to do 3.14 times 3 squared, and that would give us the whole circle, but we're going to have to divide that by 2 because we only want the semicircle. And then we've also got the triangle here, which is a half times the 6 times the 4. Half times 6 times 4 I can do in my head. Half of 6 is 3, 3 times 4 is 12. That's 12 centimeters squared. And then let's do the circle. So we've got 3.14 times 9 equals this, and then divide by 2 equals this. And then the total area will be this added together. So if I then add on 12 to this, that will give me 26.13 centimeters squared. Okay, right, so here we go. Next one. We've got the same shape again, so let me just do the circle first. So the circle is going to be 3.14 times 5 squared divided by 2 because it's a semicircle. The triangle is going to be a half times 10 times 8. So half of 10 is 5, 5 times 8 is 40. So that's millimeters squared. I'll have to do this other bit on the calculator. 3.14 14 times 5 times 5 equals this, and then divide that by 2 is here 39.25. And then if we add these together, what we get is add the 40, so we get 79.25 millimeters squared. Okay, right. Question 9 here. Okay, this is nice. We've just got 2 rectangles here. So we've got 2 times 5 for the top one, and then 5 times 7 for the bottom one. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 7 is 35. These are meters squared, meters squared. So altogether that's going to be 45 meters squared. Right, question 10. This one is interesting. It says a shape is made of a triangle with base 9 centimeters and height 6 centimeters. Cut out of the triangle is a square with side length 3 centimeters. What is the total area of the shape? So this time I'm going to have to remove the square from the triangle. So the triangle is a half times 6 times 9, which is going to be half of 6 is 3. 3 times 9 is 27. That's 27 centimeters squared. And the area of the square is 3 times 3, which is 9 centimeters squared. And then we'll have to do the 27 take away the 9. So 27 take away 9 equals 18 centimeters squared. Okay, that's that bit done. Let's get these marked. Okay, here we go. So I need to go back to question 6. Here we go, question 6 was here. Right, question 6 is 30 meters squared, perfect. Question 7 is 26.13 meters squared. Well, I don't want to, and then 79.25, yeah. And then we've got 45, perfect. And then we've got 18. Excellent. Right, last round. So scenario for compound area. Okay. I feel like this one's been a bit of a jaunt today, this one. So let's keep going though, because we've achieved a lot. Let's go to here. So let's see if these stories make sense. Bob's backyard is shaped like a rectangle with a triangular section at one end. If the rectangle has a length of 8 metres and a width of 6 metres, and the triangular section has a base of 4 metres and height of 5 metres, what is the total area of the backyard? Okay, yep, so that's clear. So that a rectangle is going to be 6 times 8, which will be 48 metres squared. The triangle will be 5, well, it'll be half, it'll be half times base times height, so a half times 4 times 5. A half times 4 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10, so that'll be 10 metres squared. So this one here will be 58 metres squared. Okay, so next one I've got here. Lucy's garden has a rectangular flower bed in the middle and 2 triangular patches on either side. The rectangular flower bed has a length of 10 metres and a width of 5 metres. Okay, each triangular patch has a base of 4 metres and a height of 7 metres. Okay, I can see that. What is the total area of the garden? So we have got the triangles, which is a half times 4 times 7. But then we've got 2 of those, so I can times that by 2. So let's work out what this is. So a half of 4 is 2. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 times 2 is 28 metres squared. And then the rectangle is 10 times 5, which is 50 metres squared. And if I add them together, that's going to make 78 metres squared. Right, next one. Question 3. Maria has a house with an L-shaped room. On one section of the room is a rectangle with dimensions 4 metres by 5 metres. Okay, and the other section is a rectangle with dimensions 3 metres by 6 metres. What is the total area of the room? So it's just 2 rectangles put together. So we've got 4 times 5 for the first rectangle, and we've got 6 times 3 for the second rectangle. So 4 times 5 gives us 20 metres squared. 3 times 6 gives us 18 metres squared. So the total area will be 38 metres squared. Right. Circles. Right. Ben's football field is made... that's too many spaces in that. Ben's football field is made up of a rectangular field with a semicircular section at one end. If the rectangular field has a length of 80 metres and a width of 50 metres, and the semicircular section has a diameter of 50 metres, what is the total area of the field? Okay, so we've got the semicircle first, which is going to be the diameter 3.14 times the radius, which is half the diameter, so 25 squared, and then it's only a semicircle, so we're going to divide that by 2. Okay, and that will be the area of the semicircle. The rectangle will just be 50 times 80. Okay, so we can work out what both of these are and then add them together. So we have got 3.14 times 25 squared equals this. And then if we divide that by 2, okay, I'll just put that like that, divide by 2, so that's 981.25 metres squared for the semicircle. And then here we've got 50 times 80, 50 times 80, we could do this without a calculator, which is 4,000. And then so the combined area is going to be the 4,000 add the 981, so 4,000 add 981.25, and so that's going to be 4,981.25 metres squared. Okay, right, question 5, and then we'll mark, and then just one more round. Okay, so here we go. Question 5 says, Emma's Park has a rectangular playground area with a triangular section alongside. The rectangular playground area has dimensions 10 metres by 15 metres and the triangular section has a base of 20 metres and a height of 8 metres. What is the total area of the park? So let's do the triangle. The triangle is the half times the 20 times the 8, okay, and the rectangle is the 15 times the 20. Half of 20 is 10, 10 times 8 is 80 metres squared. 15 times 20 is, I believe that's 300, because 10 times 20 is 200, half of that is 100, add those together, that's 300 metres squared. So altogether it's going to be 380 metres squared. Right, let's get this marked and then we will almost be home and dry. Right, so here we go. Question 45, the scenario ones. So let's go to question 1 first. Right, so first one, 58. Yes, we agree. 78, we agree. 38, we agree. 4,981.25, we agree. And 380, we agree. Okay, right. I think this is going to be plain sailing now. So let's do these ones here. Right. Jack has a swimming pool that is rectangular with a semicircle at one end. Oh, 1 second. Before I do these, I just want to quickly get rid of that space that I spotted. Right, 1 second. Where was it? Right. Where was that space? It was a scenario question. It wasn't this one. It's here, Bob's Field. Sorry. It wasn't that important, but whilst we're here. Okay, right, question 6. Okay, so Jack has a swimming pool that is rectangular with a semicircle at one end. The rectangular part has a length of 12 metres and a width of 6 metres, and the semicircle has a radius of 3 metres. What is the total area of Jack's swimming pool? Okay, so the semicircle is going to... Oh, they've given us the radius. Oh, that's nice. So it's going to be 3.14 times 3 squared times, well, divided by 2 because it's a semicircle. And then we've got 6 times 12 for the rectangle. 6 times 12 is 72. That'll be 72 metres squared. This bit here is going to be 3.14 times 9 times 9, and then get what that equals and then divide that by 2. Okay, so that's going to be 14.13 okay, meters squared, and then if we add that to the 72, that would be 86.13 meters squared. Okay, right, next one. Right, Maddie's garden is a large rectangular lawn with 2 triangular flower beds in the centre. The rectangular lawn has a length of 10 metres and a width of 8 metres. Each triangular flower bed has a base of 2 metres and a height of a height of 1.5 metres. What is the total area of Maddie's garden? Now that actually doesn't make sense because the triangular bits are still part of the garden. So I should have said, what is the total area of Maddie's lawn? Okay, so I will just quickly edit that. Sorry about this. Here we go. I know that people will probably get the gist, but it's nice to do that while I'm here. Okay, right, so the rectangle, we've got 8 times 10, 80 metres squared. And then we've got the triangles, which is a half times 2 times 1.5. And then there's 2 of them. Okay, so a half of 2 is 1. 1 times 1.5 is 1.5. And then times 2, that's going to equal 3 metres squared. So I've got to remove the flower beds from the area of the lawn. So that's going to be 77 meters squared. Okay. Here we go here. Mike has a house with a rectangular bedroom and a triangular balcony. The rectangular bedroom has dimensions 6 meters by 4 meters, and the triangular balcony has a base of 3 meters and a height of 1.5 meters. Okay, we can see that in the diagram. What is the total area of Mike's room and balcony? So let's do the triangle first. So a half times 3 times 1.5, and then we'll do the rectangle, which is 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is easy to do, so that's 24 meters squared for this. And then let's do, oh gosh, right, 1 second. Let's do this bit here. So we have got 0.5 times 3 times 1.5. And that equals 2.25 meters squared for the balcony. So add those together gets us 26.25 meters squared. Okay, 2 more questions to go. Right, here we go. Question 9. Morag's backyard is made up of a rectangular grass section with a triangular pool in one corner. The rectangular section has dimensions 12 meters by 8 meters, and the triangular pool has a base of 6 meters and a height of 4 meters. What area of Morag's backyard is grass? Okay, fine. So we need to do the rectangle and remove the triangle. So we've got 5 times 12 for the rectangle, and then we've got a half times 6 times 4 for the triangle. 5 times 12 is 60 meters squared. A half times 6 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12 meters squared. So we need to do 60, take away 12, which will give us 48 meters squared, which will be the grass section of the backyard. Okay, final question for today, well, for the morning. Noah's school has a rectangular classroom with a triangular storage area attached to one corner. The rectangular classroom has 10 meter by 6 meter, has dimensions 10 meter by 6 meter, and the triangular storage area has a base of 4 meters. Oh, I haven't put in the meters there. And a height of 3 meters. What is the total area of Noah's classroom? Really sorry about this. I'm just going to quickly edit that. Just because that's why we're here. 4. How did I put it? Was it there? It was there. I just didn't stretch it out wide enough. Okay. So back to here. So that's now changed. 4 meters. Okay. What is the total area of Noah's classroom? So we've got 6 times 10 equals 60 meters squared. And then we've got a half times 4 times 3 equals 2 times 3, which is 6 meters squared. So combined, it'll be 66 meters squared. And that's the last question there. Let's get these marked. And then we are well over halfway now. So, right. 1, 2. Okay. Right, so 86.13. Perfect. 77. Yep, I'm just checking these here. Oh, 77 we ticked. 26.25. Excellent. 48. Oh, 9. They've got 84. What has gone wrong? Am I wrong, or was I wrong in the past? So they've got 84. Ah, 1 second, here we go. We've got the error like before. That's an 8, that's a 5. Okay, so again, let me change my working out. So 8 times 12 is 96. Okay. 96 take away 12 is 84. Yeah. Okay, so that was number 9. So we need to sort out that error. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. It was here. Okay, right, that's that fixed. Okay, I'm going to scribble that out there and write 8, just so that I know what I've done. Okay, and then, right, then the last question here, we've got 66 meters squared. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. Remember, all these questions are in the book and on Crack Maths, my website, actually. So if in the meantime you want to find all of these questions, they are all available on the Crack Maths website, just in the resources section here. If you go down to tutorials, and then here we go, you can find the numbers that match with what we've just done. So I think we've just done tutorial 45, haven't we? So if you wanted to practice those questions again, you could go here and then, that's being a bit slow, but here we go. The questions that we've just done are all here anyway. So if you want to be doing these in the time being, the reason I'm doing the book is because I just know how nice it is to be able to write everything down. So there we go. But all of these questions are already available to you here if you need them. So thank you very much for joining, and I will maybe see you later today. Right, I will catch you soon. Thank you very much.